All right, here we go. What do you got for me? Rough stuff.
Hey, what's going on, Rich? Yeah,
What's good?
I wanted to jump on here because I wanted to kind of like share my experience a little bit
All
with
right, you got a
the
story
community.
for me?
And yeah, so basically, I went through the whole grinder in the past. I did like professional gaming, and I ended up meeting my ex. My ex ended up going after me, in the past. I noticed that over time when I had kids, when I started doing my work online with the gaming community, I was judged a lot. And that kind of judgment basically brought me down into, I would say, the 1,000, you know, concessions of betaization.
Betaization by a
Yeah,
thousand
yeah,
concessions. Yeah,
there you
it's one of the
go.
references I made in my book.
And basically, through that entire process, I changed from having that strong mindset to having a weak mindset. I used to be the one who was like, hey, we're going to go here, we're going to go do this. And then it started getting down to, after I had kids, hey, your choice. Where do you want to go? You know what I
Mm,
mean? Um, I got fat. I tried to get back into shape. I started going back to the gym, but because I was out of shape, I sat on my ass all the time playing games. I didn't
mm,
stretch. I ended up getting sciatica. And then my wife ended up leaving me because I was just basically injured. I could not sit for a long time. I was overweight. And what ended up happening is after that, I went through this whole entire process where I was like, man, it's my fault. What did I do wrong? I love this woman to death. And so for about a year, it took me about a year, I was going through a phase of, hey, am I going to go this polygamous route? Am I going to get screwed around by these boss bitches all the time?
mm-hmm.
Um, and at one point, I just put my foot down and I'm like, I can't do this. It's against my morals. So now
You couldn't do what exactly though?
I couldn't pursue that route, basically the beta route. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Getting a stamp card of trying to please a woman in order to, get
Yeah.
something out of them. So I decided to start focusing on myself, started focusing on my health. I started watching your videos. I started watching like Sterling, started watching Rolo, and I started getting like a better mindset. I'm like, hey, this is what I used to be a long time ago. This is
Mm-hmm.
how I got my ex. This is how, I didn't have money back then, but I looked good. So, um, but basically, I started utilizing those tools in real life recently. And let's just say I decided to pursue a friend of mine's coworker, and she decided to join with us. And I used like Sterling's tips, and I was like, hey, I put my leg up against her when we were having a good conversation, and immediately this woman started feeding me. She started cutting the steak, giving me the food. I was like, what is going on here? Then we go out to the bar, and then she's just kissing up all on me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it really shows that if you put in the hard work and effort, uh, you go through the misery. I went through that the entire time. I was questioning myself, and I got to say that yourself, your compadres out there, they helped me out a lot.
How old are you now?
36.
So, like, you can't judge darkness without light, right?
Right.
Same, it's the same thing the other way around too, right? Like, you can't judge what's bright without darkness. So, you've managed to go through the both of those things,
That's what it
and
feels
you're
like.
going to
Yeah.
start to notice, if things go dark again on you, like if they start to, if you start to go through a betatization process. I mean, as long as you're aware and you're unplugged, then you're going to notice it and you're going to control it, right? So that's really what that that whole thing, distills itself down to really is, okay, well, if you're unplugged, then you got to unplug for life, right? Because there's going to be conditions that you're going to get into. Let's say you get into another relationship or something like that. It turns into something longer term. You are going to inevitably receive inputs that are going to try to betatize you through a thousand concessions, which you're going to have to hold firm on and have frame, right? So that's what we were talking about, before with John as well too, and that's just a concept that guys have to understand. The burden of performance is on men to manage that relationship. You can't defer to her. Well, what do you want to eat tonight? I don't know. What do you want to eat tonight? I don't care. What do you want to eat tonight? Well, what do you want? It's like that shit goes nowhere fast,
Yep.
right? So it's like, we're going to get this, get in the car, wear the black dress that I like. it's time for dinner, right? Like that's what women want, and that's truthfully what men want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah, and thank you.
Appreciate it. Take care, bro.
Mm-hmm.